Model School, Pamulapadu. Today my topic is about the types of quadrilaterals. Before that, let us see what is a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is a simple closed figure formed with four line segments. Now, about the types of quadrilaterals, basing on the nature of the sides and angles of a quadrilateral may be defined as different names. Here, observe the quadrilaterals in this figure here. These are all quadrilaterals, that is, all are four-sided figures. But they are named differently. Basing upon the nature of the sides and angles, they named as different ways. Trapezium, isosceles trapezium, kite, parallelogram, rectangle, rhombus, and square. Let us see the quadrilateral family. From the quadrilateral, a trapezoid is formed. Trapezoid or trapezium. Also, a kite is formed. From the trapezoid or trapezium, a parallelogram and isosceles parallelogram are defined. From parallelogram, a rhombus and a rectangle are defined. From rhombus as well as rectangle, a square is defined. Now, let us discuss about the family of the quadrilaterals in detail. First in this family, we discuss about the trapezoid, that is trapezium. Observe the quadrilateral ABCD here. In this quadrilateral ABCD, if the line segment AB is parallel to the line segment CD. Observe here, only one pair of opposite sides are parallel. These pair are not parallel. These are non-parallel sides. If one pair of opposite side in a quadrilateral are parallel, such type of quadrilateral is called as trapezium. So, a trapezium is a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides are parallel. About the properties of trapezium. In a trapezium, we find that angle A and angle D is 180 degrees and angle B plus angle C is 180 degrees. Next, second property is when you draw a diagonal in a trapezium, it divides into two triangles. So, a diagonal in a trapezium divides it into two triangles. Next, when you draw the two diagonals in a trapezium, they are proportional to each other. That is, first DO by OB is equal to CO by OA. Also, in a trapezium ABCD, we know that AB is parallel to CD. For these parallel sides, if you draw another line parallel to the given parallel sides, then that line is called as midline or median. A median is a line which is parallel to the given parallel sides. If you draw a median in a trapezium, it divides the non-parallel sides proportionally. That is, AE by ED is equal to BF by FC. This is about the trapezium. Next, coming to the isosceles trapezium. You know that a trapezium means a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides are parallel and the other pair is non-parallel. If non-parallel sides in a trapezium are equal, such type of trapezium is called as isosceles trapezium. So, if the non-parallel sides in a trapezium are equal, such type of trapezium is called as isosceles trapezium. Here, AD is equal to BC. Since the isosceles trapezium is defined from trapezium, so all the properties of satisfies for isosceles trapezium also. That is, angle A plus angle D is equal to 180 degrees. Angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees. Also, the base angles in an isosceles trapezium are equal. That is, angle A is equal to angle B and angle C is equal to angle D. And if you draw two diagonals in an isosceles trapezium, the two diagonals in this isosceles trapezium are equal. That is, diagonal AC is equal to diagonal BD. But the diagonals in a trapezium are not equal, whereas the diagonals in an isosceles trapezium are equal. This is all about the trapezium. Next, coming to the next type of quadrilateral is called as kite. All of you might have observed the kite, you know very well. You play with kites. Here, in the kite, if you observe the figure, AD is equal to CD and AB is equal to BC. AD and CD are one pair of adjacent sides. AB and BC are another pair of adjacent sides. If you observe the opposite sides in this quadrilateral, the opposite sides are not equal. So, such type of quadrilateral is called as a kite. A kite is a quadrilateral in which two pairs of equal adjacent sides and two pairs of unequal opposite sides. Next, speaking about the properties of kite. In a kite, if you draw the two diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Also, the second property is OA is equal to OC. Also in a kite, angle A and angle C are equal. And the diagonal BD bisects angle D and angle B. That means it divides the angle into two equal angles. Also, the diagonal BD divides the kite into two congruent triangles, triangle ABD and triangle BCD. So, in a kite, the diagonals are perpendicular, OA is equal to OC, BD bisects angle B and angle D, angle A is equal to angle C, and the diagonal BD divides the kite into two congruent triangles. Next, about the next type of quadrilateral called parallelogram. Now observe the quadrilateral ABCD here. Now in this quadrilateral ABCD, we observe that AB is parallel to CD. Also, BC is parallel to AD. We are observing that both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. If both pairs of opposite sides in a quadrilateral are parallel, such type of quadrilateral is named as parallelogram. So, a parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Next, about the properties of a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. AB is equal to CD and BC is equal to AD. Also, when you see about the angles, the opposite angles in a parallelogram are equal. Angle A is equal to angle C, angle B is equal to angle D. If you add any two adjacent angles, we find that the sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degrees. That is, angle A plus angle B 180 degrees, angle B plus angle C 180 degrees, angle C plus angle D 180 degrees, angle D plus angle A is equal to 180 degrees. Next, when you draw a diagonal in a parallelogram, it divides a parallelogram into two congruent triangles. Why? Because here AD in this triangle is equal to BC and CD in this triangle is equal to AB. And BD is common for both the triangles. So, you can say that the diagonal divides the parallelogram into two congruent triangles. That is, triangle ABD is congruent to triangle BCD. Also, when you draw two diagonals in a parallelogram, we find that the two diagonals bisect each other. That is, AC divides BD into two equal parts and BD divides diagonal AC into two equal parts. That is, AO is equal to OC and DO is equal to OB. So, if you recall the properties of a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, diagonals bisect each other, each diagonal divides it into two congruent triangles, and sum of two adjacent angles is equal to 180 degrees. From the parallelogram, here if you see another property of a parallelogram, I am considering the midpoints of the sides of a parallelogram. E, F, G, H are the midpoints of sides AB, BC, CD and AD respectively. And if you join these midpoints, again a figure is formed. The figure formed is again a parallelogram. So, the figure formed by joining the midpoints of sides of a parallelogram is again a parallelogram. Also in a parallelogram, AB square plus BC square plus CD square plus AD square, that is the sum of the squares of the sides is equal to AC square plus BD square, that is the sum of the squares of the diagonals. So in a parallelogram, the sum of the squares of four sides is equal to the sum of the squares of the two diagonals. This is all about a parallelogram. Next, from the parallelogram, let us define another type called rhombus. A rhombus is a parallelogram in which two adjacent sides are equal. Actually, in a parallelogram, adjacent sides are not equal. Only opposite sides are equal. Suppose if adjacent sides in a parallelogram are equal, then that parallelogram is called as a rhombus. If two adjacent sides are equal, automatically all sides will become equal. So you can say that in a rhombus, all sides are equal. Since rhombus is formed from parallelogram, all the properties of parallelogram satisfies for rhombus also. That is, opposite angles are equal and sum of two adjacent angles is equal to 180 degrees. Angle A plus angle B 180 degrees, angle B plus angle C equals 180 degrees, angle C plus angle D equals to 180 degrees and angle D plus angle A is equal to 180 degrees. So, in a rhombus, all sides are equal, opposite angles are equal, the sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degrees. When you draw a diagonal in a rhombus, it divides the rhombus into two congruent isosceles triangles. Why? Because observe the triangle ADC here. AD is equal to CD. Two sides are equal. So it is an isosceles triangle. So each diagonal divides the rhombus into two congruent isosceles triangles. Suppose if you draw two diagonals here, in a rhombus we find that the two diagonals are perpendicularly bisecting each other. Okay. If you join the midpoints of the sides of a rhombus, the figure formed by joining the midpoints of the sides of a rhombus is a rectangle. So, all sides are equal. Second property, opposite angles are equal. Third, sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degrees. Each diagonal divides the rhombus into two congruent isosceles triangles. The diagonals bisect each other perpendicularly. AC bisects angle A and angle C, and the diagonal BD bisects angle B and angle D. And the quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of the rhombus is a rectangle. Next, discussing about another type of parallelogram called rectangle. In a parallelogram, you know that angle is not equal to 90 degrees. Suppose in a parallelogram, if one of the angle is 90 degrees, then that parallelogram is named as rectangle. So, a rectangle is a parallelogram in which one of the angle is a 90 degrees. Now here observe here, ABCD is a rectangle. Since the rectangle is formed from parallelogram, all the properties of parallelogram satisfies for rectangle also. That is, here in a rectangle, AB is equal to CD and BC is equal to AD. That is, opposite sides are equal. Sum of two adjacent angles is 180 degrees. If one of the angle is 90 degrees, the other adjacent angle, angle B, is also equal to 90 degrees. If angle B is 90 degrees, angle C is 90 degrees. If angle C is 90 degrees, then angle D is also equal to 90 degrees. That is, we find that in a rectangle, each angle is 90 degrees. When you draw a diagonal in a rectangle, we find that the diagonal divides the rectangle into two congruent right-angled triangles. If you draw two diagonals in a rectangle, we find that the two diagonals are equal and bisect each other. That is, OA is equal to OB is equal to OC is equal to OD. And if you join the midpoints of the sides of the rectangle, the figure formed is a rhombus. Let us recall all the properties of a rectangle again. Opposite sides are equal. Each angle is 90 degrees. Each diagonal divides the rectangle into two congruent right angle triangles. The diagonals are equal. The diagonals bisect each other. The quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of the sides of the rectangle is a rhombus. This is all about the rectangle. We have some more important properties of a rectangle. We know that each diagonal divides the rectangle into two right angle triangles. By applying the Pythagoras theorem for the right angle triangle, AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Also, AC square is equal to AD square plus CD square. From these two equations, we can say that AB square plus BC square plus CD square plus AD square is equal to 2AC square or 2BD square. Why? Because the diagonals are equal in a rectangle. So, 2AC square or 2BD square. So, this is about the rectangle. Next, lastly, about a square. A square is formed from a rectangle, also from a rhombus. So, in a rectangle, you know that opposite sides are equal, but adjacent sides are not equal. If the adjacent sides in a rectangle are equal, such type of rectangle is called as a square. When you define from rhombus, in a rhombus, of course all sides are equal, but angle is not equal to 90 degrees. If the angle in a rhombus is 90 degrees, then that type of rhombus is called as a square. So, a rectangle in which adjacent sides are equal and a rhombus in which one of the angle is 90 degrees is called as a square. Since a square is formed from rectangle and rhombus, all the properties of rectangles and rhombus satisfy for the square also. If you speak about the properties of a square, in a square, you know that all sides are equal. We are observing all sides are equal. All angles are also equal and each angle is equal to 90 degrees. If you draw the diagonal in a square, the diagonal divides the square into two congruent isosceles right-angled triangles. If you draw the two diagonals in a square, the two diagonals are equal and bisect each other perpendicularly. Also, if you join the midpoints of the sides of a square, the figure formed again is also a square. So, in a square, all sides are equal, all angles are equal and each is 90 degrees. Each diagonal divides the square into two congruent isosceles right-angled triangles. The diagonals are equal and bisect each other perpendicularly. The quadrilateral formed by joining the midpoints of the sides of a square is again a square. So, this is about a square. If you observe the quadrilateral family, already we discussed that from the quadrilateral, a kite and trapeziums are formed. From trapezium, isosceles trapezium and parallelograms are formed. From parallelogram, rhombus and rectangles are defined. From rhombus and rectangle, a square is defined. So, you can say that a square is a rhombus, a square is a rectangle, and a rhombus and rectangle is a parallelogram. All parallelograms are trapeziums. All trapeziums are quadrilateral. But the vice versa is not true here. All quadrilaterals are not trapeziums. All trapeziums are not parallelograms. All parallelograms are not rhombus and are not rectangles. All rectangles and rhombus are not called as a squares. So this is about the types of quadrilaterals. Now in this video, let us recall what we have discussed. We discussed what is a quadrilateral and what are the types of quadrilaterals. In that, we discuss about the trapezium and properties, kite and its properties, isosceles trapezium and its properties, parallelogram and its properties, rectangle and its properties, and a square and its properties. This is all about the types of quadrilaterals. Thank you one and all.